Throughout history, there have always been people trying to take advantage of others and gain power for themselves. These people, dictators, have come from not just Europe, but all over the world. In this video, go through 5 of them and show you how they came to power.
If not the most well-known dictator, started his journey to power after the First World War, fueled by widespread discontent arising from the harsh Treaty of Versailles, to impose a $33 billion penalty on Germany, along with territorial losses to Poland and France. The German people grappled with economic collapse and inflation. In this atmosphere of resentment, Adolf Hitler emerged as a charismatic figure, proposing a new order to replace the failing democratic government. Hitler's vision for a revitalized Germany involved every citizen serving the state, effectively dismantling democracy. The Nazi Party, with Hitler at the helm, strategically gained power in Germany's parliament, paving the way for his appointment as chancellor on January 30th, 1933. Hitler's simple yet powerful ideals aimed at fixing the economy, providing employment opportunities, and restoring Germany's status through a strong government. His leadership style appealed to people's hopes, fears, and prejudices. Following the death of the president in 1934, Hitler swiftly consolidated power, officially becoming a dictator. This ascent to power marked a turning point in German history, as he pursued an aggressive agenda that included world conquest, ultimately leading to the devastating events of World War II. To talk about Napoleon's rise to power, we first have to go back to the start of the French Revolution, which was caused by the estate system in France. This system was where the commoners, the clergy, and aristocracy all received a point for making decisions for the country. Now, at first glance, this appeared to be fair, but the clergy and aristocracy always voted together, leaving the common people out. This led to the commoners having almost no rights, enraging them. It is also important to keep in mind that the common made up around 96% of France. This will lead to the French Revolution, the monarchy being overthrown, and a regime called the Director taking over. During this time, a young military genius named Napoleon Bonaparte was rising through the ranks. Starting as a military general during the First Coalition, he got some fame and recognition by fighting and attempting to conquer Egypt between 1798 and 99. Propaganda showed him as a military hero. The coup of 18 Brumaire in 1799 marked his ascent to the position of First Consul. In 1804, he crowned himself emperor, establishing a dictatorship that spanned across Europe. Napoleon's vision included a Napoleonic Code, military reforms, and the pursuit of a grand empire. Castro's journey really began with the protest of Fulgencio Batista's stop in the 1952 presidential election. In this protest, Castro gathered 116 men and attempted to raid an army barracks, but it was unsuccessful. Fidel's failed attempt to overthrow the Cuban government in 1953 led to his arrest and him leaving Cuba. Undeterred, he returned in 1956 with 81 men at his side, only 12 of which were able to escape the initial incident. Fidel, his brother, and Ernesto Che Guevara led a guerrilla warfare campaign in the Sierra Maestra Mountains. Batista's support really took a hit when fraud was evident in the 1958 presidential election. This drop in popularity was a defining moment in Cuba's revolution, making Batista's power decrease. The revolution climaxed in 1959 with the overthrow of Fulgencio Batista. Initially pledging elections, Castro gradually transformed Cuba into a communist state, aligning with the Soviet Union and solidifying his decades-long dictatorship. Suharto's journey began in the military during the Second World War, initially serving in the Dutch colonial army and in the Japanese army after they took control of Indonesia. After the war ended, Suharto engaged in guerrilla warfare against the Dutch. The Dutch eventually left Indonesia because of a mix of internal conflicts and economic pressure from the West. Over the next 15 years, Suharto rose to the rank of Major General. In 1963, he became the leader of the Army Strategic Command, increasing his power. President Suharto's ties with the Indonesian Communist Party created conflict between him and the army because of the army's largely anti-communist beliefs. This led to an attempted coup on September 30, 1965, led by left-wing officers, resulting in the death of 6 high-ranking officers. Suharto, one of the few high-ranking officers left, ended the coup and assumed control of the country on March 12, 1966, even though Suharto remained in office for another year. Suharto quickly banned the Indonesian Communist Party, implemented stabilizing policies, and, in 1968, was elected the second president of Indonesia. His New Order policy, relying on American-educated economists, foreign aid, and Western investment, led to economic growth and reduced inflation. Despite the success, Suharto's rule was essentially an authoritarian regime that restricted civil liberties and suppressed people's opinions. Muammar Gaddafi, driven by strong Muslim and Arab nationalist convictions, aimed to overthrow the Libyan monarchy headed by King Adolf Hitler. Upon graduating from the Libyan military academy in 1965, Gaddafi not only climbed the military ranks but also planned a coup against the monarchy. Exploiting the opportunity on September 1st, 1969, he orchestrated a bloodless military coup while King Idris away for medical treatment, swiftly securing control over the capital, Tripoli. Gaddafi's arrest was fueled by widespread dissatisfaction with the perceived corruption and ineffectiveness of King Idris's rule. To inaugurate his regime, Gaddafi introduced the Third Universal Theory, outlined in his infamous Green Book, claiming it could address inherent issues in capitalism and communism. Ironically, this theory, intended to liberate oppressed people globally, has formed into a tool for domestic oppression. Gaddafi's governance eradicated alternative opinions and dismissed voting and constitutional processes. While it portrayed a system of people's committees as democratic, it was, in reality, a facade, with Gaddafi's family and close allies wielding all the power and security. Criticism of the regime led to imprisonment, and collective punishment became the norm for legal offenses. Propagating theories about constitutional change resulted in death, and disclosing information damaging to the country's reputation led to life imprisonment. Gaddafi's rule, initially presented as a revolutionary force, obscured a harsh reality of intolerance, suppression, and concentration of power.